Questions are perhaps the most useful component of applying the Socratic method to reflective practice, and we've seen how questions can be used. There's a very simple mnemonic that we can use to help guide the questioning process, and that mnemonic is paperclip. This helps move thinking from lower order to higher order and uses questioning to guide that process. Within this framework for questioning, we know that questions are ultimately exploratory and spontaneous, and also need to be focused. Exploratory questions are those initial questions helping us to understand a situation, and spontaneous questions are about our response to a situation, and then focused questions help us get detail from the situation. So exploratory questions are very much about the reflective practitioner using the Socratic method and using this particular mnemonic, paperclip, to get a thorough understanding, gather all the information required to get very much clarity about an experience that they're having. And from this we move to spontaneous questions, which are very much related to the immediate response and the teacher's assumptions in relation to the situation that they're experiencing. And then from the spontaneous questions, we're moving to another level of questioning, which is focused questioning, where we're taking broad ideas and starting to get more clarity, narrow down the type of question, get more focus, moving from broad ideas to very specific and detailed ideas. So using the mnemonic paperclip can help guide this questioning process, and the mnemonic paperclip identifies particular types of words to ask at any particular point. Using paperclip, we start off with precision questions, or in other words, questions which are helping the reflective practitioner become more aware of the situation and the details in the situation. For example, as a reflective practitioner, you might ask yourself, can you be more aware of what is going on? Can you be more specific about what is going on? Accuracy questions, how could you test that particular assumption? How could you get a better understanding of whether the assumption is true or false? The next letter in the mnemonic is about perspective questions. Is there a different way of seeing the situation or the problem? Is there a different perspective that you can use to examine the situation? E are equity questions. What are the conflicts of interest, or what are the biases that may exist within the situation which can affect the way it's being perceived? The R in paperclip stands for relevance questions. How does this relate to the problem? How does X relate to Y? How is all of this understood as a whole, as a logical whole? The C in paperclip stands for complexity, complexity questions. What makes this a difficult question to answer, for example, is useful for the reflective practitioner to engage with. Remember, as reflective practitioners, we're always working in messy situations and always trying to set unsatisfactory questions so that we're always questioning rather than just finding solutions. The L in paperclip stands for logic questions. Does this all make sense? How does all this come together? How do all the components fit together into a logical whole? The I stands for importance questions. What is the most important issue here? What is the most significant component of this situation? And then the P letter in paperclip stands for perspicuity questions. Or in other words, what does this mean to me? What does this actually mean as a whole? How is all of this translated and perceived by all the actors in the situation? So we can see that paperclip this mnemonic provides a very sound structure, a list of trigger words that we can use to question a situation from the perspectives of description through to decision for the reflective practitioner.